A growing number of anti-Asian hate crimes has been concerning so many of us and has even pushed the president to speak out about the troubling trend. Sandra Endo joins us now with more of the story of a local man who, his story it's so upsetting. And I think it's going to really alert people who maybe have been unaware of this to a problem that we need to be aware of.
Definitely, Michaela, and this is a nationwide disturbing, troubling trend we're seeing all across the country. Obviously, the spike in hate incidents against Asians and Asian Americans, and we talked to one victim right here in Los Angeles who shares his story, and we have to warn you, some of the language you might hear in this story may be very disturbing and graphic.
A bruised and battered face, the shape of his eyes perhaps making him a target. U.S. Air Force vet Denny Kim describes how he was allegedly jumped in Koreatown last month.
They started calling me Chinese virus, ching chong, gook, chink, and they eventually struck me on my face. I fell down to the ground and I hit my head, and they started beating me up. At one point, they told me that they wanted to kill me. And,
luckily, his friend came to his aid, but not before the two non-Asian suspects allegedly hurled more racist slurs.
They're cussing me out, saying, you know, you Asians and all that. But when they seen my presence, they just got terrified, and they just ran away.
What happened to Denny Kim and Joseph Cha is just one case in a rampant rise of anti-Asian hate crimes nationwide.
You're a stupid blue Asian-haired girl.
LAPD reports show crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have increased 114% in 2020.
I never gotten physically assaulted just because I looked the way I looked and because of my race, so that was traumatizing.
The spike in numbers mirror attacks nationwide, ranging from verbal assaults
because you're dumb
to physical attacks against the elderly, to women with babies, from the Bay Area to New York City. Earlier this month, a Buddhist temple in Little Tokyo was vandalized.
Good evening, my fellow Americans.
And the trend so disturbing, President Biden said this during his first primetime address.
Too often, we've turned against one another. Vicious hate crimes against Asian Americans who've been attacked, harassed, blamed, and scapegoated. It's wrong, it's un-American, and it must stop.
And the numbers may not even be wholly accurate, with anti-Asian hate crimes historically known for being underreported.
It has to do with a lot with culture. I believe a lot with Asian people don't want many more problems on top of the issue. They just want to just let it fall in the cracks.
And that's exactly why victims like Denny Kim say he's speaking out.
Any victims of hate and ignorance, I want them to speak up about their situation, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. It doesn't matter about what race we are, where we come from. At the end of the day, we're just the human race.
And you heard Denny Kim there, the victim, really graphically explain what he heard, what he went through. We decided to allow those slurs that he heard to play out, just to give you the triggering feeling of what these victims often go through during these attacks. And clearly it's very, very disturbing and troubling. And according to a new nationwide poll out, it shows that 3,800 hate incidents towards Asian Americans have been reported over the last year alone, Michaela, but it seems like every day we're hearing much more. And when you think about the scope of this, there are so many more of these incidents that are underreported. Michaela?
Yeah, you know, and I actually like that you talked about the process that we went through here. It was a discussion editorially about whether or not to include that, and you advocated for that. That was something that was important for you because you needed people to see the hate in its truest form so they can understand why we have to confront this.
And the words, it's triggering just growing up as an Asian American. I know we're going to get more into the conversation around this whole troubling pandemic and what this pandemic has really meant for the Asian American community, with President Biden addressing that as well. But just these incidences that we're hearing about towards the Asian American community is so, so triggering in terms of all the stereotypes we've had to live through throughout growing up. So we'll get more into that in and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, in our 9 o'clock hour we will, but I can see it. I can see the weight of it on you, Sandra. I know I can read your face. I've been able to learn how to do that even through a mask, but I can see how much this is affecting you. So we're going to talk about it in our 9, and I appreciate you being willing to do that.